bringing Parliament closer to you. And in a short while, we expect business to continue. That's at 17 hours. But just a reminder that at the time business was suspended at 16:40, the Member of Parliament for Lukulu East, who is the chairperson of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services, was moving a motion to adopt the committee's report, and this is the report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services, that the House adopts the report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services on the follow-up performance audit report on the implementation of the Social Cash Transfer Program in Zambia 2018 to 2023 for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 30th July 2025.
And there was another motion that was moved earlier by Kalomo Central Member of Parliament, Mr. Harry Kambone, and in this motion he urged the House to adopt the report of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology on the ratification of the Global Convention on the Recognition of Qualifications concerning Higher Education for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 30th July 2025. And this motion was seconded by Milanzi Member of Parliament, Ms. Melesiana Piri, and also there was debate, and the motion has since been adopted.
And just to mention that later on, we do expect the Superior Court Number of Judges Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2025 to come up for consideration at third reading. That is basically the last stage in the legislative process. And
of course, we had announcements earlier, just when the House started sitting, and we cross back to the
Mr. Speaker.
Expected to commence just about now, 17 hours, but unfortunately there is no quorum in the House. A quorum is about 1/3 of all the members of Parliament in the House. That's about 55 members of Parliament. So right now there is no quorum in the House and business cannot continue. So once a quorum is constituted, we expect business to continue. Just in case you've just joined in and wondering what was happening before business was suspended, the House was considering the motion that is being moved by Lukulu East Member of Parliament, Dr. Christopher Kalila, and he is moving a motion to adopt the report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services, urging the House to adopt the report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services on the follow-up performance audit report on the implementation of the Social Cash Transfer Program in Zambia 2018 to 2023 for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 30th July 2025. So the Lukulu East Member of Parliament is still on the floor moving this particular motion. That is what was happening at the time business was suspended. Later on, Pauline?
Yes, business still to come on the floor of the House is the Superior Court's Number of Judges Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2025, expected to be considered at a third reading stage.
Okay, and we keep encouraging you, our dear listeners. Of course, we do appreciate your viewership and listenership on our sister station, that's Parliament Radio. But on Parliament TV, we always say you can follow deliberations on the National Assembly of Zambia Facebook page. You can also watch deliberations on the DSTV platform by tuning into channel 272. Not forgetting the GoTV platform on channel 28 and the Top Star platform on channel 5. Tune into those stations and you will be able to watch deliberations as we broadcast them to you live from Parliament buildings here in Lusaka. And if you want to follow deliberations as they take place on the floor of the House by having an agenda, you can access it on our website www.parliament.gov.zm, and the agenda is basically the order paper, so you can access that order paper on our website www.parliament.gov.zm. Business is expected to continue anytime the quorum is constituted.
Order.
And it has been enjoyed.
Order. When business was suspended, the House was considering the motion moved by the Honorable Member for Lukulu East that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services on the follow-up performance audit report on the implementation of the Social Cash Transfer Program in Zambia 2018 to 2023 for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 30th July 2025, and the Honorable Member for Lukulu East was debating. May the Honorable Member continue?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, my apologies. Honorable members, we are presenting a report on the implementation of the Social Cash Transfer Program. We hope you read the report. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to report that the implementation of the Social Cash Transfer in Zambia has made progress, and by 2023, the program had achieved nationwide coverage, reaching over 1.1 million vulnerable households across all the 11 and the 116 districts. Mr. Speaker, beyond the audit report, coverage further increased to approximately 1.3 million households in 2024. And in addition to that, administrative costs have also declined significantly from 27.4% in 2020 to 8% in 2025. This is due to improved systems and streamlining operations. The committee also notes that previously donor contributions accounted for the bulk of the Social Cash Transfer Program funding. However, government funding to the program has progressively increased, rising from 40% to 62% in 2023. In 2025, government funding currently exceeds over 90%, and this is commendable. Mr. Speaker, these achievements are indeed commendable. However, Zambia continues to face persistently high levels of poverty and inequality. Accordingly, the 2022 Living Conditions Monitoring Survey says over 60% of the population lives below the national poverty line, and rural poverty remains particularly very high. This entails that we need to double our efforts of expanding social protection interventions in our country. In this regard, sir, the committee wishes to highlight key findings and recommendations as follows. Number one, expansion of program coverage. The committee acknowledges the impressive scale-up of the Social Cash Transfer Program from covering over 574,000 households in 2017 to 1.3 million households by 2024. However, today, approximately 1.95 million households are expected to be living extremely in extreme poverty. This indicates that a significant number of eligible households are yet to be covered by this very good program. Therefore, the ministry should scale up its efforts to reach all eligible households in extreme poverty. Number two, inclusion and certification of persons with disabilities. The portion of persons with disabilities 230 out of 1.8 million persons living with disabilities were registered. In light of this, there is need to shift from the current medical model of certifying persons with disability to a rights-based disability assessment framework. This approach would facilitate more inclusive and accessible certification processes by building the capacity of local social workers. The committee also urges the ministry to review and increase the transfer value for persons with disabilities to at least 2,000 kwacha, given that the current amount is inadequate for their sustenance. Number three, annual review of the transfer amounts. Further, the audit report revealed that the transfer values have not been regularly reviewed. Although the amount was increased from 90 kwacha in 2020 to 200 kwacha per household and 400 for persons with disabilities in 2022, the figures remain far below the 2022 poverty datum line of 517 kwacha. As a result, beneficiaries continue to struggle to meet basic needs. In this regard, the Minister of Community Development and Social Services is urged to undertake annual reviews for transfer values using a cost-effective and inflation-sensitive approach. This will preserve the real value of the transfers and enhance the impact of the social cash transfer program on poverty reduction. Mr. Speaker, I wish on behalf of the committee to conclude by expressing our sincere gratitude, as always, for the opportunity that you always give us to review these important undertakings. The committee further extends appreciation to the Office of the Auditor General, and the Minister of Community Development and Social Services, and all cooperating partners and stakeholders, and the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for their support throughout the review process. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you very much.
Does the seconder wish to speak now or later?
Now, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Bati.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to sincerely thank you for the opportunity to second this important motion, which has been ably moved by Honourable Dr. Kalila, Member of Parliament for Lukulu East, and Chairperson for the Committee on Health and Community Development. Mr. Speaker, the mover of this motion indicated that the purpose of this follow-up performance audit report was to assess whether the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services had taken actions on the findings and recommendations made in 2018 regarding the administration of social cash transfer program in Zambia. Mr. Speaker, the 2018 audit report identified a number of weaknesses in the administration of social cash transfer programs in Zambia. And Mr. Speaker, allow me to highlight the weaknesses that were identified in 2018. Mr. Speaker, number one is the incomplete rollout of social cash transfer to all districts. The second one was a payment to ineligible beneficiaries. The third one is the inadequate documentation for disability status. Fourth one is the delays in disbursements of funds from headquarters to districts. The fifth one was the failure to review transfer amounts, and the sixth was the high administrative costs. Mr. Speaker, the mover has highlighted notable successes that have been made so far in the administration of social cash transfer. Mr. Speaker, among the notable success is the introduction of the automated payment system known as the Zambia Social Protection Information System. Mr. Speaker, this system has eliminated the use of pay point managers in a lot of districts. Mr. Speaker, allow me at this point to just talk about the weaknesses that still exist in regard with the administration of social cash transfer in the country. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has not finalized and operationalized the Social Protection Bill. That is number one. And this bill, Mr. Speaker, was initially expected to be finalized in November 2023. Mr. Speaker, Cabinet has approved the Cash Plus agenda, but the implementation of this agenda has stalled. Mr. Speaker, these are some of the things that will help the integration of social cash transfer programs and other social safety nets and reduce the duplication of beneficiaries. Mr. Speaker, Cash Plus agenda will help harmonize social cash transfer programs with other social initiatives such as the Food Security Pack, the keeping girls in school, supporting women in livelihoods, FISIP, school feeding program, cash for work, and CDF empowerment programs for vulnerable groups, and many other social initiatives. Mr. Speaker, the report also highlighted the fact that during the period under review, the ministry paid about 2 million kwacha to ineligible beneficiaries. And Mr. Speaker, there is no plan to recover this 2 million kwacha that was spent. Mr. Speaker, the mover alluded to the fact that the presence of ZAPID in a number of districts is quite limited. At the time that the report was handed to the committee, ZAPID had presence only in 21 districts out of the 116 districts in the country. Mr. Speaker, it's for this reason that the committee is recommending that the Ministry of Community Development should strengthen collaboration between Ministry of Community Development, ZAPID, and the Office of the Member of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, us, members of Parliament, we live with the people, and we are not consulted. We are not consulted, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to, scaling up or putting more beneficiaries on the list. MPs are not consulted. Mr. Speaker, we've got structures in the communities. We've got WDCs. We've got our ward councillors. We've got our headmen. We've got chiefs. Mr. Speaker, if we are consulted, this issue of the limited presence of ZAPID in the country will come to an end. Because, Mr. Speaker, allow me, Mr. Speaker, through you to appeal to the chairperson of the caucus on the disability inclusion, Honorable Dr. Monsanje, is in the House, Mr. Speaker, to appeal to all these members that we should, as MPs, try to help ZAPID with the registration of all persons with disabilities in the constituents, in all our constituencies. Mr. Speaker, we don't need a lot of money. We can use even CDF to register all the people with disabilities countrywide in the constituencies. Mr. Speaker, the amount remained the same, and the move of the motion spoke to this issue. The transfer amount, Mr. Speaker, has not been reviewed. The transfer amount still remains at 400 kwacha and 800 kwacha to people with disabilities. Mr. Speaker, the recommendation has been done by the mover that the committee recommends that at least the people living with disabilities should receive a minimum, Mr. Speaker, of 2,000 kwacha per month. I think as a country, Mr. Speaker, considering the abundant natural resources that we have, we can afford to pay people with disabilities a living wage of 2,000 per month. That will make it about 4,000 bi-monthly. Mr. Speaker, the other weaknesses that the committee noted in regards with the social cash transfer program is the high administrative cost. Mr. Speaker, we still have pay point managers in some districts, especially districts that do not have mobile network coverage. Mr. Speaker, we appeal to the Ministry of Community Development to collaborate with the Ministry of Technologies that they enhance the communication in areas where we do not have towers. Mr. Speaker, digital literacy is one of the things that the committee recommended. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure most of us in here have received those texts that Ngalama Zangena, money is in the account, and shut up you. Mr. Speaker, I'm being disturbed. I need your protection from the Minister of... So, Mr. Speaker, we need digital literacy. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, there are so many...
Honorable Member, your time is up.
So many witnesses noted, and Mr. Speaker, with a few remarks, I thank you, and thank you to your committee.
Thank you. Any further debate? The Honorable Member for Chirubi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are debating a program for the poor. And Mr. Speaker, when we are debating a program for the poor, the initial intention of this program, Mr. Speaker, is about livelihood, it's about empowerment, it's about protection, it's about social assistance, and it's about social security. Mr. Speaker, these can also be corrupted into poverty, vulnerability, and inequalities. Given that background, Mr. Speaker, I will start with a sample of the audit. We know that the rolling out of this program has happened from 80 districts to 116 districts. To 116 districts. And given this, Mr. Speaker, it only means that the sample that would have picked a lot of challenges only tackled 8.6, and the report says that this is due to fiscal challenges. And the people of Tulu would like to appeal that when there is such a sample to be undertaken and an audit of that nature, I think government should put in more effort in terms of financing such an audit, because it concerns all the districts, which means that all the constituencies are tackled in this case, Mr. Speaker. And given that, people of Tulu expected that since we are talking about poverty, vulnerability, and inequalities, there is need that we can do better in that area. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to go into temptation of projecting like I'm being political. I know that, especially the right, whenever they are debating about PF and all that. But I think, Mr. Speaker, you can agree with me that I always run out from that temptation. But on this one, Mr. Speaker, what I will say are the facts which I've even presented before to the Minister of Community Development, where we are having the 2 million that has been mentioned, that has been paid, payments that are made to ineligible beneficiaries. Mr. Speaker, like where I come from, in my district, we have a heavy hand, a political heavy hand, through the office of the DC, where the social workers, those who are working in the community development, will prepare a template for people to be paid according to vulnerability scale, and those who qualify, the names will change because the DC has interfered. This, Mr. Speaker, has become a program of institutionalized cadreism, where people who are not even supposed to benefit are benefiting through the social cash transfer. It is becoming more of a reward to give to people that are not even eligible, that do not fall within the vulnerability scale, that they are getting the money they do not deserve. And Mr. Speaker, that's a crisis. It is a crisis because it is leaving out orphans. It's a crisis because it's also leaving out disabled people. It is also a crisis because it's leaving out one people that qualify within the vulnerability scale. Mr. Speaker, another factor that this report has even pointed out to is, even with the existence of a vulnerability scale, there is need that institutions or agencies that are supposed to help government identify the vulnerable are also ready in these 116 districts. I am talking about Zambia Agency for persons with disabilities. If you find that some of the disabled people who really, this minister, this top minister from Nadi, Mr. Speaker, what I'm trying to say is that when ZAPID is not well spread, and it's an institution that is supposed to help by registering, we know that one of the factors for a person to qualify is the medical report. But even with a medical report, for a person to qualify, we need to have institutions like the ZAPID coming in, those who are disabled, to qualify further that they are indeed, and that's when they will find themselves into the system. And we need to make a system watertight so that it cannot be manipulated. Mr. Speaker, from the transfer of the national social protection policy of 2014, Mr. Speaker, can I be protected from this noise I'm getting from there? No.
Honorable member from Kushi.
Yeah. From the national protection policy of 2014 to now, we have a national policy of 2025. We need to factor in the inadequacies that we have already discovered. And we have discovered some of the inadequacies, Mr. Speaker. We need to know that it's not the policy that will make deliverables successful. It is what we put in at the end. When we come to the end user of the people that are supposed to receive this money, I'll go away from the domain of what they receive. I'll concentrate on those who manage the fund. We have situations, Mr. Speaker, where an old woman who has been present in the system for a longer period, today she is told you cannot receive the money because your name is not appearing anywhere. But if you want us to give you a bit of money, I can give you a 200 kwacha out of your money. Where is that 200 kwacha coming from? Isn't that pet corruption? The man would give, or the woman would give, the manager who is managing this fund, would give an old woman a 200 kwacha. She'll go home a bit happy because she thinks her name is not there, she has just been favored. Meanwhile, this person has pocketed the other money. That is the situation that is happening. And Mr. Speaker, that scenario...
Honorable member, you are saying that is the situation that is happening in your constituency?
Yes, in Chirubi. And I can confirm there are a lot of consequences.
Have you reported that to the police?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, the problem is that when we report, some of these factors, they are not even paid attention.
So if you know you don't have anything to back your claims, don't make such assertions.
But Mr. Speaker, why should you not talk about reality?
I've guided you.
Anyway, you have guided me, but reality remains the same, Mr. Speaker. Yeah. You know, Mr. Speaker, what I'm talking about, this is a question of the poor. And I'm elected to represent the poor and different groups. And when I'm representing the poor, I should portray the right picture as it is on the ground. And I'm just trying to speak their voice because all the 115,000 people of Chirubi cannot be in parliament. And they speak through me. So what I'm saying, I'm reporting to your office, Mr. Speaker, because you commissioned the report. And it's this that I'm talking about, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, before I was asked to clarify, what I was trying to say is that the system is not watertight. There is need that when we are reaching the end user, we need to make the system watertight so that it is away from the interference of a DC to change and put in cadres, so that when government budgets for this money, it reaches the people that are supposed to benefit.
Your time is up. The Honourable Member for Mitete.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so very much. Page 3. The report is saying it's the audit report 2017. Mr. Speaker, when you were guiding the recent debater, at some point he was a DC in Chirubi. So he could be talking what has been happening in 2017. But in here it says the social cash transfer program has tremendously increased. The beneficiaries have increased. I thought, you know, they would have even said, here is what happened. A little good in PFA increasing from 80 districts to 160. But, you know, sometimes the facts remain facts. So if it's the DCs changing, maybe those DCs. But here, it's one of the promises of UPND and the new Dawn government. Sir, in Mitete, Lukulu as well, it used to be said, if you vote UPND and President Hakainde, he's going to scrap off this social cash transfer program. But instead of scrapping it off, he has increased. Numbers do not lie. From 500 plus to 1.1 million beneficiaries in 2023. 2024, here the report says to 1.23 million. That's 2024. The question in my head, what is for 2025? Sir, the graph is going up. Things are happening. Things are happening. Not only this, in addition to this, Mr. Speaker, there is also the emergency fund. All this is happening in New Dawn, even when there was a total severe drought. The social matters, the social services, Mr. Speaker, increasing. If it were those years, with drought, things would have been a different story. But in UPND, when they had removed the meal allowances, on top of this social cash transfer program, meal allowances increased. But that's not the topic here. The topic is social cash transfer. I would not have just ended up at meal allowances. I would have said the Ministry of Education have also scaled up the feeding program. So that is not for today. Today it is a social cash transfer. That has tremendously increased up to 2024 as to what the stakeholders submitted. This is as to how social services matters are supposed to be handled. The disabilities, sir, in the former years, parents, guardians used to hide this. But with this increase, we are now saying, no, ninani mwanayo, ninani mwanayale, ye ni kisianga. Meaning we have a physically challenged child in our family. They are now coming out. This is as to what, a good government with good policies does. And it should have been being done. I'm here to support this report. That those severely disabled, imitated, 1,200 kwacha. There, when you mention some things that we mention outside, they will answer to say 800. Meaning, we are receiving 800 kwacha. Some are even saying their wives to work in the Hichilema, the president. Some of those are now, Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, they are no longer just accepting anyhow. They are saying they are married to work in the. That's what we are getting on the ground. Yes, even in Manyinga, such things are happening. Mr. Speaker, having gone to Chipata and listened to Lwangeni, things are also on there. Yes. Things are also good. In Kaputa, in Lwangeni, Shangombo, Chama North, Chama South. Sir, even Chiluvi, and Pika, and Mukushi South, These same graphs are going up. On that note, sir, I'm in total support of this report. And what the UPND, New Dawn government, under the able leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, are doing is the right thing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member from Pika.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to add the voice of the people of Pika to this very important subject. I have read the report, Mr. Speaker, and I'm on firm ground now to add the voice of the people of Pika. Mr. Speaker, the social cash transfer program started in 2003. It was piloted in one district, that was Kalomo. Then in 2014 to 2015, the then government decided to roll it out across the country, and it was called the National Harmonized Social Cash Transfer Program. It has been a success story. Our people who are the suffering majority, people in Chitulika, people in Rubambala Ward, people in Kasenga, people in Kamwanya, people in Mutendere, people in Kamwanya, they've been benefiting from this fund. However, sir, it is important to point out some salient issues that must be addressed for this program to continue running smoothly and benefit our poor majority. Mr. Speaker, this fund exists in line with the special development goals, which aim at alleviating poverty. Therefore, this fund must play its critical role in ensuring that poverty is alleviated. Mr. Speaker, one of the challenges right now or even in the past is that people who are not even eligible for the program, they find themselves benefiting on the program, leaving out the real beneficiaries. This happens because of political involvement. This fund, Mr. Speaker, should not have any political hand getting involved. The political party lines should be detached from this particular fund. This is a sacred fund, Mr. Speaker. This is a fund for the poor people. However, like other debaters have said, sir, you find that branches or sewer very active in ensuring that their people get those positions in order for them to be recommending their fellow cadres on the program. This is where the problem starts from, Mr. Speaker. And I would urge the Minister of Community Development to ensure that representatives of the people are involved at every level of the social cash transfer program, particularly during the formation of the social cash transfer infrastructure on the ground, because it's this infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, that generates the list of the beneficiaries. The real beneficiaries, Mr. Speaker, must be identified and put on the program. Equally, Mr. Speaker, this fund, when there is a by-election, you will find that people are being told to say, if you do not vote for the ruling party, you will be removed from the social cash transfer fund.
Honorable Member, may you take your seat. You know, I hate you trying to mislead yourself. I'm also a member of Parliament. The WDCs, the CWACs are not selected by party structures, are selected by the community itself. So what you are You've started by misleading yourself. I don't know. And this is a government policy. No party official flags who becomes the WDCs. It's the community themselves that vote. They would be office bearer to be a CWAC member or a WDC. And you go further on making another false assertion of elections, things that you don't have proof. I think ensure that you confine to the report that you have. If not, I want to have choice. I can tell you if you continue misleading. You may proceed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I should have amplified my voice for my own speaker to get me. What I said was that there is political influence during the formation of those structures.
I've guided you. Let's stick to the report that is there.
Mr.
Let's
Speaker,
stick to that.
Mr. Speaker, the Social Cash Transfer Fund, we have seen how the number has been moving from 2014 in terms of increments. But it's not enough. Here the report says 635,000 households remain under extreme poverty, Mr. Speaker. This means that this fund must be increased in order to absorb more beneficiaries. Mr. Speaker, by increasing the fund, more beneficiaries will benefit and thereby addressing poverty. Mr. Speaker, the government should mobilize resources. They need to ensure that a lot of resources are mobilized in order to attend to challenges such as this one, where 635,000 households of our people are under extreme poverty, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the government tightened tax evasion and also ensuring that minimum royalties is paid, there will be enough money to absorb the number of people on the social cash transfer. Also, I need, Mr. Speaker, to thank the chairperson of the committee, stating the fact that there is need to increase the amount for the persons with the disability to 2,000, Mr. Speaker, is something that must be done almost immediately. Mr. Speaker, our people are going various challenges, and more especially persons living with the disability, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I want to reiterate my area position that politics should be detached 100% from this government policy. This is a government policy. This is not a party policy. This is a government policy. And Mr. Speaker, when something is implemented perfectly, this is commendable. For members to make submission so that the minister with I or his team work on perfecting the fund. This information that we are bringing out is extra to what the report says. And I'm happy that even, Mr. Speaker, you have stated the fact that you are equally a member of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, the UPND government should ensure that whether with or without a by-election, this fund remains a fund for the poor. And no one should be threatened that you'll be removed from the fund if you don't vote for the UPND party. No one, Mr. Speaker.
May you take your seat?
Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, the UPND should also detach corruption from this fund, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Acting Minister of Community Development to respond.
Honorable Mr. Speaker, I rise to acknowledge the findings presented in the Auditor General's report on the implementation of the Social Cash Transfer Program. Right from the beginning, the new Dawn administration of the UPND will respond to in a methodical manner what President put across, that we will fear no challenge. We will take a methodical approach to attend to matters such as this. The audit reveals that our objective to expand the program from 50 districts in 2014 to 104 districts by 2017 was not fully achieved, with only 80 districts reached, refreshing or representing 77% of the target. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, we fell short of our target to reach 60% of female beneficiary households, achieving only 53%. Other concerns, Mr. Speaker, include payments to ineligible beneficiaries and inclusion of uncertified persons with disability. Honorable members, we acknowledge these findings and take them very seriously. The challenges we faced are attributed to logistical and operational issues that can exacerbate poverty and vulnerability by limiting access to essential services and economic opportunities. We are committed, however, to addressing these issues and improving the program's effectiveness, as can be seen in the recent pronouncements that we shall approach social protection measures by presenting a life cycle approach so that we are focused to detail to the lives of our people at the different levels and the different floors. In line with the recommendations, the government through the ministry has prioritized broadening the coverage of the social cash transfer program to combat extreme poverty effectively. Between 2020 and 2022, the number of households, Mr. Speaker, benefiting from the social cash transfer increased from 616,464 to 1,027,000, representing 67% increase. Currently, more than 5 million individuals are benefiting from the program, Mr. Speaker. Additionally, it was recommended that the government reduce its reliance on donor funding to ensure sustainability. Notably, the government has been the largest financier of the social cash transfer program, contributing 62% towards the program, while cooperating partners contributed 38%. Regarding the target for female-headed households, Mr. Speaker, the ministry increased beneficiaries in other target groups, including the chronically ill, persons on palliative care, persons with disabilities, child-headed households, and the elderly. This was done while reducing the number of female-headed households who were perceived to be in the productive age and could transition to other empowerment programs within that life cycle approach. To address the inclusion of uncertified persons with disabilities, interventions were implemented, including sensitization on the need to acquire disability cards and collaboration with the Ministry of Health to increase the number of persons with disabilities being issued with medical slips and disability cards. Honorable members, despite the challenges, we must not lose sight of the broader perspective. The social cash transfer has significantly improved the livelihoods of people in our communities, in our constituencies. By providing direct financial support to vulnerable populations, we help communities meet their basic needs and reduce poverty. This program, Mr. Speaker, acts as a safe net shielding the poor and vulnerable from economic shocks and crises. Additionally, the social cash transfer injects funds directly into the local communities, boosting demand for goods and services and supporting small businesses. By putting more money into people's pockets, we foster economic growth, especially in rural or disadvantaged areas. Let us continue to build on the successes of the social cash transfer, which we all know, Mr. Speaker, while addressing the challenges and limitations identified. In doing so, we can ensure that the program continues to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our people. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Lukulu East to end up debate.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the committee, I would like to thank all the honourable members who have debated for their positive contributions to this motion. And let me just end by saying that we also applaud the strides that the ministry is making in improving the implementation of the social cash transfer program in Zambia. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
I put the question. The question is that this House adopts a report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Service on the follow-up of performance audit on the implementation of the social cash transfer program in Zambia 2018 to 2023 for the fourth session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 30th July 2025. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary say no. The ayes have it. The question is resolved in the affirmative. The clerk will now read the orders of the day.
The Superior Court's Number of Judges Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15, 2023, third reading.
The Honourable Minister of Justice.
That's my husband. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the bill now be read for the third time.
The question is that the bill now be read the third time. Any debate, any objection? The question is agreed to. Let the bill be read the third time.
The Superior Court's Number of Judges Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2025.
The Acting Leader of Government Business Adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the House do now adjourn.
The question is that the House now adjourns. Any debate? Any objection? The question is agreed to. The House is now adjourned.
And at the time that business was adjourning at 17:52, the House has considered all the business on today's order paper, the announcements, the motion, the urgent matters without notice, the ministerial statements, the two motions, and that bill. So we'll just give you summary of the business that has taken place on the floor of the House today. So today there were some announcements, three announcements in which Madam First Deputy Speaker welcomed 3 schools to the National Assembly of Zambia, and these schools included Al Khan Islamic School of Lusaka, Mazabuka Girls School of Mazabuka, and Kizito Community School of Lusaka. She, on behalf of the National Assembly of Zambia, welcomed the visitors.
And after the announcements, the acting leader of government business in the House moved a motion that that Standing Orders 27-2 of the National Assembly of Zambia, Standing Orders 2024, be suspended to enable the House to sit until business on the order paper is completed on Friday, 1st August 2025, and thereafter the House adjourns sine die.
After that, there was some consideration of urgent matters without notice, and this afternoon we had about 2 urgent matters without notice that were raised, and the first one was raised on a video circulating and which was involving Chinese investments in Zambia. This matter was raised by Luena Member of Parliament, and it was inadmissible. Chama North Member of Parliament also raised the matter of an urgent matter without notice, and it was on the rising number of suicide cases, especially in Eastern Province. So the matter was inadmissible because it did not comply with the rules that surround urgent matters without notice. And the last matter that was raised on the floor of the House today was raised by Mitete Member of Parliament, and this was on the funeral of the late 6th Republican President. And in his matter that he was raising, he just basically wanted to find out what he was going to tell his constituents in the constituency. So this matter was also admissible. Those were the 3 matters of urgent nature that were raised on the floor of the House today.
And after the urgent matters without notice, there was a ministerial statement that was rendered by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources on the matter of farm number 946 of subdivision A in Mlovezi ward in Mlovezi district. And she did render a policy statement on whether government is aware that about 10,000 people are likely to be evicted from the 402,000 hectares piece of traditional land in Mlovezi ward in Mlovezi constituency by a foreign investor trading in timber, and whether the people will be compensated once they are evicted. And the minister did inform the House that a review of the lands register at the ministry revealed that in 1931 there was an agreement involving 3 parties, namely His Majesty King George V, represented by the Colonial Office Paramount Chief Yeta III, and Zambezi Sawmills, and the nature of the agreement are not specified. She did mention that on 23rd November 1932, 3 parties, namely His Majesty the British South African Company and the Paramount Chief Yeta III, agreed, and Machele was declared a forest area. He said that this is the area known as farm number 946. It now became a protected area, and he did say that on 29th October 1942, His Majesty the Paramount Chief Yeta III and the Zambezi Sawmills made an agreement, and a license was issued to do certain things. The agreement does not specify what exactly was meant by certain things, and accordingly, the records at the ministry in June 1931, subdivision A of farm number 946 was first surveyed, which had an area of 472,722 hectares, contrary to the reported hectares of 402,000. And she did say that the remaining part of the farm 946, after the subdivision was created, has protected forest areas, namely Naluama, Luangala, Situmbo, and Lonje. And she did say that during the period 1931 to 1968, Zambezi Sawmills operated on a lease entity since its establishment until 1999, when a certificate of title was issued. She also said that the ministry established that the Zambezi Sawmills was placed on receivership by the bank, which was owed 14 million. However, the new investor bought the subdivision A of 946 from the bank, which was previously owned by the Zambezi Sawmills in 1968 Limited, and this was at a cost of 2 million. The minister also said that the fact-finding mission further revealed that there is a secondary school, 4 primary schools, 6 community schools, 2 clinics, 5 health centers, 1 police post, 4 storage sheds. In addition, there are also the following facilities, namely wildlife offices, Zambia Railways train station, the rail line, heritage site, community dam, 105 housing units for former workers of the sawmill company, although at the moment the housing units are accommodating government officers working in the ministries of health, education, local authorities and home affairs, namely the police. She said that the local authorities and the she said that other structures which were found include water tanks, markets, churches and also playgrounds. The minister did inform the House that in addition to the fact-finding mission which was undertaken by herself and the staff in her ministry, they had a meeting with the new investor, and that the receiver of the Zambezi Sawmill the receiver of the Zambezi Sawmill company at her office. And from the discussions that they had, it was established that the new investor was willing to hive off part of the land on which all government properties were sitting within subdivision A of 946 and surrender them to the relevant ministries. She did say that the new investor further informed the officials that he had no intentions to evict any persons from the subdivision A of farm 946 and in any case the new investor was also ready to hive out the area which was occupied by the people and given to them without asking for any compensation, just to remain with the part of the land that he wants to concentrate on with his business. So that was the ministerial statement rendered by the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources on the farm number 946 of subdivision A in Mulovezi Ward.
Okay, so that was just a summary of that ministerial statement. After consideration of that, there were 2 motions that were adopted, that have been adopted. The House has resolved to adopt those particular reports for those 2 committees. And the first report that has been adopted was a report by the Committee on Education, Science and Technology, arising from a motion that was moved by Kalomo Central Member of Parliament, Mr. Kamboni, who was urging the House to adopt the report of the Committee on Education, Science and Technology on the ratification of the Global Convention on the recognition of qualifications concerning higher education for the 4th session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 30th July 2025. And then the other motion that was moved by Dr. Kalila, Lukulu East Member of Parliament. He was moving a motion to adopt the report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services, urging the House to adopt the report of the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services on the follow-up performance audit report on the implementation of the Social Cash Transfer Program in Zambia 2018 to 2023 for the 4th session of the 13th National Assembly, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 30th July 2025.
And after those 2 motions, the House did consider the Superior Court's number of judges bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2025, which was considered at a 3rd reading stage, and it has gone through the 3rd reading stage. So basically, that was business of the House today, Thursday, 31st July 2025. And we have come to the end of business, our live broadcast for today. Muta.
Thank you very much, Pauline. It's been a pleasure being with you this afternoon, and of course part of evening, not forgetting our colleague Ichola Kauma, who's kept us company, of course, time and again. We had Jason Manda. So Good to be with you on this, desk after a long time.
Exactly, Muta. It was good being with you today, and we hope that you join us again.